Morning guys, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training. I hope everybody's had a good vacation. It's the last day of the 4-day holiday. It's Sunday today. And Thanksgiving was a good one. We basically just kind of took a vacation during this time. Usually I'm always out working dogs and doing my thing, but with everything going on with the pandemic and the battle cry being called up as far as trying to get people to stay home and not travel and all that good stuff, and a lot more fear out there, I think, with the lockdowns going on in different areas depending on their level of gravity with the pandemic. So I talked about a project a few weeks ago where I was talking about getting a dog over from France for an officer back in Missouri. And the whole goal was to kind of a bunch of pieces of a puzzle. First, to get the dog donated, and we did that. We have one of the top breeders and ex-military French frogs. That is my breeder. It's where I got my bitch from. That was referred to me from another police dog kennel. And this gentleman owns Taxol. If you've ever heard of Taxol, look it up. I'll maybe put a link into this so you can see it. But I went out, and the next goal was to try to get a law enforcement orientated firm that had the bona fides, somebody that I respected, that could get this dog topped off a little bit. He's got some training on him. This guy knows what he's doing back there. He's taught the dog to push. He's got him into the suit. He's doing a good development on his bite work. And the dog's father is Tommy with Hans Peg's Tommy. This guy is right there on the Netherlands and Holland border right there, where he can play with all these guys in KNVP, and he's well respected in the military because of his military SEAL type stuff, the canines within the French military. He's very well respected, and his business is going to grow here in the next year or so. He's working on it now, where he's putting together a 150 run kennel, and he's got good bloodlines now when he steps up to that next level. And he's supplying military and law enforcement, okay? And that's where the dogs that I've got come from, is military and law enforcement genetics, and that's what it's all about. So he donated the dog. Now the tricky part was to get the dog over here. The dog, if you guys know, puppies go from anywhere from $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, depending on the quality of the dog and the person that's selling them. But that's roughly a good price, around $1,500 for a puppy. So you're looking at probably $1,000 to $1,200 for the dog. And then you're looking for about $850 to get the dog shipped over. And then you want to top him off, and so you want him to go to a law enforcement facility. It usually does classes, and usually these places do with the green officer and the dog, they'll do a 6-week training course. Basically fire the dog up, let him get the bond with the owner, see if it's going to mesh, and then service that contract after the fact, which means you've got to stay on top of the accreditation. That's what most of them do as far as that goes. So I wanted somebody I could do the training, believe me. I mean, we could get the decoys to do the work and put the training on the dog, but the problem is you don't have the bona fides, so the community's really not going to respect it all that much. They're going to kind of snicker and laugh, and you're on the back side of the blue wall. And what I mean by the blue wall is the law enforcement has what they call an unsaid thing. It's called the blue wall. And basically, they're not going to give you total respect because their community has been through a lot of baptism by fire. I mean, think about what a SEAL has to go through to get where they're going, and that character build and who they are as an individual and everything that they stand for with their ethics and their morals and their credibility, their values, right? That teaches them and that they have and they hold, right? A lot of the people that are in law enforcement have gone through that. They've gone through the military. They've earned their dues. They've been through at the least, they've been through a police training indoctrination where they go through their course to become an officer, right? At the least. Most of them have some background in law enforcement, and military, etc., applications towards what they do on the street, right? So that makes it kind of like a fraternity, right? And I'm on this side. I'm a civilian, and I really have not gone through that, so they're not going to accept me all that well. And reality is they keep their markets clean that way. They don't have anybody like me going out and trying to compete with them in their market. So they're very hesitant to let somebody like me get out there and start learning and growing and going towards areas that they may not respect, right? And so they won't let you in their fraternity. It's kind of like an unsaid thing. It's kind of like a curtain that's there that you can't get through because you can't get that respect from them. And they won't let you in. Okay, so what I got was not really negative. I didn't have any negative attitude. I didn't have any of that. Nobody was aggressive with me at all. They just didn't give me the time of day. I went out and tried to pitch it to a couple training firms and people that I know that I can shake hands with. They're very polite with me, but they didn't respond. They didn't come back. I went and pitched it to one guy's wife, and she said, yeah, very nice, very friendly, there's little options, and he never gave me a call. So it tells you, it tells you right away that that blue wall was right in front of me, and I couldn't get through it. So then our gentleman friend back in France, the breeder, reached out on a Leo board on Facebook, and boom, he got all kinds of responses because of his background, who he is as an individual. Okay, so he didn't have a blue wall at all to face. They were right away willing to help and willing to give him the help that he needed, but I still couldn't get through it. So what it boils down to is my project didn't bear fruit. I wanted to get this dog over here, go out and get to work with the dog and play with him a little bit and get him topped off, and then get him back to the officer with some credibility. That was my goal. And it didn't work out that way, For whatever reason, I couldn't get through the blue wall. So the gentleman back there, military application and all that, and his demeanor as far as following through with a mission, because that's the way we looked at it. It was a mission. It was a goal. Give me a second. Come on! With me. Come on! Let me get the dog put away. Come on! Got a bitch in season. Get in there. Good boy. Good boy. There you go. Good. So, right away, he got the assistance and the promissory attitude from several different contacts that he had, and right away, we went through this trying to figure out how I could go work this dog and get some assistance in this, and it came back that he just gave the suggestion it might be easier just to have him follow through and carry the ball up the field. So I was very discouraged a few days ago. I usually go through and I get kind of slapped by life. I kind of go through a depression phase where I get bummed out, and there's a few days that I feel pretty bummed, and that's kind of where I was at. I was in the ditch. I didn't feel very good at all because I wasn't able to succeed with this project. And it really still hurts, it still hurts. What am I, some slime? I know. I've been clean and doing my thing for many, many years, and I'm a pretty responsible individual. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I tell you I'm going to give you my hand, to give you my word, I'm going to honor that, and it's hard for somebody like me to look at myself and say, well, what's the matter with me? What am I, chopped liver? I've got a lot of skill under my belt when it comes to handling dogs, believe me. I've been doing this for a lot of years. So I'm going to back up now and try to figure out how I can get this crowdsourcing going, and I know that he's going to put this out, plea on his contacts online, and we'll see if we can get this dog over. But the goal is still the same. We still want to bring down the cost as much as we can, so crowdsourcing. And I just wish I was good at computers. I really do. It boils down to quiet. That I'm no good at computers, or I just go ahead and do a web page and get it up and crowdsourcing and all that good stuff. But it's not my forte. It's not what I'm good at. My instinct is to be good with communication with animals. I can handle a horse. I can handle dogs. I can communicate a little better than most people can. It's just the way it is. I have an instinct and a God-given gift that I got given at a very young age, and I've been around animals my whole life of one sort or another, in the pet store trade and all kinds of things that I've done. But so I just wanted to let you guys know, and I'll let you stay in contact. They're going to let me know, I'm sure, what the status is with this dog getting over here, and hopefully, finding out what happens with this dog. That was my goal. My goal was to tell a story. To tell a story of how we made contact with a breeder over in France, who that breeder was, and let every one of the people that I touched get a little bit of PR from the video that I wanted to put together, because I had some friends that were really good at the bells and whistles with digital magic, and I couldn't get it to happen because I couldn't get the training firm that I wanted to be able to film and do all that part of it when the dog was over here was the big goal, So it is what it is, but I thought I'd let you guys know. You're my people that follow me on YouTube. And I apologize for that. I will let you know what happens once I find out more about the dog getting over here, and we may be able to pull together a crowdsourcing page, and I would appreciate you guys' help with that, trying to offset this guy's cost. Everything's got to come out of his pocket, and by the time you get the dog over here, you pay for the training, you get the dog to him, and it's going to cost probably a good, probably $3,500, $5,000, somewhere in there altogether. You know, all together with all the expenses, probably a good $5,000 is what we're going to be asking for, just to offset his cost a little bit. So that may still go out. So, you know, I'll let you guys know when it happens. But at this time, basically the ball's out of my hands, and I'll let them handle it on their side. And I feel like a bag of doo-doo, but hey, that is what it is. Getting through that blue wall is a big struggle a lot of times. I've got a trainer that's up in this area that ended up getting through that blue wall. He goes out and decoys, and he's got some, he's a French national and decoy, and so he's got some abilities behind him, and he's working with a department here in California. And I admire that, you know, how he got through that blue wall, and we all know that he's out there doing his thing. It's kind of a cool thing, you know. We all want to. We all want, well, no, we don't all want to, but in a general sense, you know, that is an outstanding achievement, you know, and I admire him for that and respect him. In fact, he was one of the people I reached out to try to help me out with this dog, and he's just too busy and got his own family and things he's got going. So he gave me a polite turn down as well. It is what it is. All right, guys, again, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a good vacation, a good holiday, and it's time to get back to work here. Tomorrow's Monday, and we'll be sliding into the work zone. I kind of took a little bit of time off and didn't go out and do much over this vacation. In fact, normally today I'd be out doing bite work, but I'm going to stay at home. Sunday is the last day of this little 4-day mental vacation. So, Mark Ferrasci, ProTech Dog Training, signing off. Have a good day, guys. We'll let you know what's going on with this dog coming over from France soon. Bye-bye.